Welcome back to Coast Vue. I really enjoyed that conversation with Terry Green. He and Rick Carter have made unbelievable investments in Gulfport, and as a result have created this incredible destination for people right there in Gulfport. Now we're going to move over to another important destination in Gulfport and visit with my friend Dr. Mobi Solangi, who's the president and executive director of the Institute for Mammal Studies, IMMS, and he also has Ocean Adventures, which is a really important tourism extension to the work that they're doing. So it's been a while, Mobi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to hear from you.
It's good to see you too. I've been looking forward to getting an update from you. I know a lot has been going on. I obviously stay in touch with what's happening on social media. I watch what media coverage is happening for you guys. But, we've visited during the pandemic. You guys did a great job of sort of opening it back up again and sort of overcoming the challenges that you had. You had your IMMS mission, your Institute of Marine Mammal Studies mission that never stopped, of course. And then when you got the Ocean Adventure side moving forward again. If you just kind of looked at where you are today in both institutions, how are you doing?
I think we're doing really great. I mean, again, we're going through the anniversary of Katrina, 17 years. Our previous facility was destroyed. I had to start my whole life again. And I think we are bigger and better now with everything under one roof. And I think we're not only recognized in the United States, we are getting international attention. So that's a good thing.
It's a great thing, actually. What I actually want to go back to, because of course this week I don't think you can call it celebrating anything, but I think the celebrating of the Katrina anniversary, observing that, is to say, as my friend Josh Morganman said, we were a phoenix rising from the ashes. I mean, this coast of Mississippi has seen incredible booming growth because people like you who were wiped out had a vision and a dream that you were not going to be denied. And what developed is this incredible facility in IMMS, and then eventually this outgrowth of Ocean Adventures on the Seaway in Gulfport. And it's been a hell of a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. And I think, we're very fortunate to have had folks in Congress with folks like Senator Lott, Senator Cochran, and now, of course, you've got Roger Wicker and Cindy Hyde-Smith, and they've all been very helpful. The state, Governor Reeves and Philip Gunn and Dilbert Hoseman and others have been extremely helpful to getting us back on our feet. And I think we've been there at the right time to help the state, whether it was during in the aftermath of Katrina, the BP oil spill, the Bonnie Carey spillway. I think we have been a very strong partner with our agencies, DMR, DEQ, NOAA, U.S. Fish and Wildlife. And so I think we found our niche. Mississippi has a very significant place in the ecosystem, and we're there to help it.
Well, when you say a significant place in the ecosystem, you really do mean it. The significance of the marine mammal studies and the institute you have there.
We have the largest dolphin population in the United States. It's a huge fishery area. It's also a significant habitat for the most endangered sea turtle, the Kemp's Ridley. It's also a nursery for baby dolphins. And so this is a very rich fishery area. There's ecotourism. A lot of fishermen come and enjoy. That's why we live on the coast. And protecting it and enhancing it is our mission, providing good information to the federal and state agencies to make good and prudent decisions so we can get the benefit from both sides, the sides of development and our ability to enjoy and live.
The aftermath of Katrina, the story's been told a bunch. You and I have talked about it here on Coast Vue before, but does it seem like a blur when you look back on it and you think about what happened to marine life and the way the dolphins came back and the way that you were able to capture them and save them the way you did? Is it all a blur to you?
Well, not really. I mean, some of these are nightmares. You never expected. It was very traumatic On the 30th, after the storm had passed, walking over and seeing everything leveled, your house is damaged, your wife and child are standing in line to be given food, and we are running around trying to retrieve our animals. Some have swept away from the 38-foot tidal wave, and now we have to figure out where did they go. And so we kept our cool, we kept working at it. We said, we'll worry about it later. But those are memories that are really etched there that you remember every minute and second. So it's really, it amazes me. It's like 17 years. It's like your life. I look back and say, hey, where did the 50 years go? It's something, the same thing. But we're fortunate that we were able to get our lives back. I think we're bigger and better and contributing to the success of the state, and also conserving and protecting our resources and making it better.
Well, along the way, you had another major vision that we've talked about, how the impetus for it and the development of it, but the ocean adventure is part of this, where this huge teaching component that's involved in it. And I noticed that Planetware, which is a website that is a travel website that does ranking of places to go all around the world, really. I mean, it's incredible how they do spend so much energy on these rankings. But in Mississippi, in terms of the top 15 attractions in Mississippi, on the Planetware list, the Institute for Marine Mammal Studies was number 5. You got to be proud of that.
Yeah. Think about it. We beat Elvis Presley. You ain't nothing but a hound dog,
Yeah. There is no doubt about that.
And to be that part within the last few years of our existence means a lot. I mean, it's a very unique facility. Ricky, when you and I were growing, animals were seen in cages, then they went into habitats. Now people want to be in the habitat. And I think we have created that. It's not a static exhibits where you see through windows. We have some of those, but you can go snorkel with the stingrays and sharks. You can have the birds come and feed from your hands. You can swim with the dolphins, get kisses with the sea lion. Those memories are extremely good. I still have kids that come in 30, 40 years ago and say, hey, I got a kiss with a dolphin at Marine Life or Sea Lion. And so those learning aspects where it's very interactive have much more tangible memories than something you see through a window and go away. And I think having education, conservation, research, rehabilitation all under one roof, I think has been the significant part of our success.
Mobi, you and I spent entire shows talking about the opening of the Bonnie Carey Spillway. You're the chair of the Science Advisory Committee for the Mississippi Sound Coalition that's looking at all these potential alternatives as we move forward to try to stop this massive amount of polluted fresh water from dumping into Mississippi Sound. But more recently, there's been a really interesting development where you've seen turtle nests on the beaches. Why is that significant in light of the oil spill and in light of the Bonnie Carey Spillway?
I think that's an excellent question. Mississippi Sound and adjacent waters have been subjected to quite a bit of traumatic events, whether it's natural, from hurricanes, tropical storms, and man-made, like the BP oil spill, the Bonnie Carey Spillway, which have devastated our ecosystem. And the nesting is an indicator that all the efforts, for example, IMMS has taken these endangered sea turtles, rehabilitated over 1,000 of them over the last 10 years, put them back in to restore and recover our ecosystem. So when you see a little bit of a light where some of these animals are coming back, these are long-lived species, and they're also very specific to certain areas. Some are born in Mexico, some are born on the coastline in the United States. And so when they come and start nesting, reproduction is an important part of perpetuity. And so that is an excellent indication that some of the efforts of our state organizations, federal government, and the BP money that has been put in is reaping some benefits. And if we do not take heed from them, it's no different than a Hurricane Katrina coming in. It took us 10 years to get back on our feet. It took 2 years to just clean up. These events, whether it is the BP oil spill or the Vanicary spillway, are aquatic hurricanes. They come in and destroy the ecosystem. From the top, it looks great, but underwater, there's been a lot of turmoil, and it's going to take a lot of time. And I think this has been an incredible story. We had about 350,000 hits.
Let's do this, Mobi. Mobi, we'll pick it up right there. We're at the end of this segment. We'll see you on the other side. This is Mobi Solangi, and we'll see you after this break. You have my friend Dr. Mobi Solangi, President and Executive Director of the Institute for Marine Mammal Studies and also Ocean Adventures. And he's an old friend. We go back. We're not going to say how far we go back. We go back a long way, Mobi, a very long way. And I've been a fan of yours and the work that you've done for many, many years. And we spent a lot of time on Coast Vue talking about that relationship. But when we went to break, you were talking about the significance of the turtle nests and what it says about not only the efforts that have been underway since the oil spill and the Vanicary spillway, but also just the resiliency of the body of water. If we can keep it from being intruded upon by oil or fresh polluted water, it has a way of bouncing back. But it can't sustain itself over a long period of time if we keep opening up the Vanicary spillway. So I pray that we eventually find a solution for that, because it is completely unnatural to dump all that water into the Mississippi Sound, isn't it?
I think it is. And think about this. Mississippi River is not connected to the Mississippi Sound. It's not an indigenous river. And if you force that into this area and give big slugs of this fresh and polluted water, it's going to change the ecology. And when you change that ecology, it affects everything, the food source, the environmental factors, and their ability to reproduce. So we are getting good indications that the programs that our state and federal agencies have put out are helping recover and rejuvenate and bring back. And so we need to be very vigilant in making sure that some of these different plans that are on the books are done properly.
Hey, this weekend we were out south of Ship Island and Horn Island behind a shrimp boat, just doing a fun fishing day. And we were fighting a shark, which we released. But while we were fighting the shark, we were surrounded by bottlenose dolphin. Now, look, I've seen them, always see them all over the place, but it was more like herds of them, like you would see somewhere off Cabo San Lucas or something. Is that something unusual that's happening, or we just got lucky and happened to see it?
No, I think, we've been doing these surveys, population dynamic surveys, photo ID work, and we are seeing a resurgence of these animals, a lot of babies being born. Again, like I said, this is the nursery for the baby dolphins. And so what you're seeing and observing is a very good indication that turtles are nesting, dolphins are having more babies, they're recovering from a very traumatic event. It is showing resiliency more so than all the efforts that we are all putting in about trying to get our environment back and the ecosystem back to normal. So I think the programs like you, creating the awareness in the public is extremely important, because that in itself will bring the policymakers to make decisions.
Okay, you and I've talked about kind of shifting gears here in the short time we have left. The card tag that we discussed before, the IMMS card tag. How's that doing?
Well, it is doing really very well. We've got a dolphin tag, we have a sea turtle tag, and a shark tag. And what we are trying to tell people, when people buy that, a very small portion of it comes back to us to help us in the restoration and recovery and the study of these species and the environment. And so you can go at any time, even if you have a tag now, and get it exchanged. And so for another $20, you're helping in the study and the restoration recovery of Mississippi Sound. And I think we have seen quite a bit of interest and return on it.
That's so interesting. Any other big topics you want to talk about? I want to ask about your team, but I want to make sure there's nothing else on your list.
Well, no, we've got our relationship with Mississippi State University's College of Veterinary Medicine that has taken our capability up several notches. That's what has put us in the limelight, not only in the United States, but also in the world. Every veterinary student now can come here to get practical training. We have different programs for them, and they get their hands-on. It's not out of the 33 schools, Mississippi State is only one that provides hands-on experience to marine mammals, sea turtles, and other marine organisms through us. So we are now accredited. That's a wonderful opportunity to connect with them. We have full-time veterinarians from Mississippi State stationed at IMMS. So that in itself has raised the capability and level of expertise.
That is exciting. That whole Mississippi State thing, the way it's evolved, and it's just so complementary to the capabilities that you have there and the need that you have there. Not only your animals, but also the Stranded Network. What a great partnership.
It really is. And I think we're doing a lot of comprehensive work. A lot of people are jealous now that why Mississippi? How can they become number one? We always used to fight for number 47, 48, 49, but now, we are ahead of the curve.
Well, the reason is because you got yourself, Mobi Solangi, your team. Y'all are monomaniacs on a mission, and people know that, and it really turns into not just dreaming, but realizing dreams that other people now can learn from and participate in and make their own dreams now. But anyway, Mobi, as usual, it's always great to catch up with you. I appreciate you taking some time to be with us today.
You bet. Well, I appreciate the invite, and we'll look forward to many of your shows.
You bet, my friend. This has been Dr. Mobi Solangi, and have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.